Hello everybody, this is just a quick video on how to link the config folders from the two versions of DCS, 1.5 and 2.5 Open Alpha. This way you don't have to maintain the stick configurations, and any settings that you make in one automatically gets reflected to the other and vice versa. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Open Alpha as the base. So Open Beta, I don't want to change anything in Open Beta. I want every change that I make from Open Alpha to be reflected into Open Beta. Okay, it's pretty simple. All you have to do is go to your username, save games folder, go to Open Beta, go to config, and you'll see an input folder there. If you don't see anything, that's okay. But if you have an input folder, just click on it once and to rename it, and I'm going to just call this original. And let's get back to our folder here. Okay. So now what we have to do is create a symbolic link in Open Beta config, and we're going to recreate an input folder here that references the Open Alpha config input directory. Notice I have my savings here for my aircraft that I fly. So let's come back to here, and to do that, click on your start button here, type CMD. That takes you to the command prompt. The next thing you're going to do is we need to get to this folder here. So cd / users hbay and saved games. Okay. You notice my prompt now says this is a directory I'm at, and if I type dir, you'll see the Open Alpha, Open Beta. The next thing I'm going to do is create a symbolic link. The command is simple. So basically it's make link, mklink /j, and then we're going to specify where do I want to create this symbolic link? Well, it's going to be DCS Open Beta config and input. Okay, so I'm going to create an input folder under config and Open Beta. So what's my source going to be? It's going to be DCS Open Alpha, as you see there, and config and input. Okay. Now, it created a symbolic link between the two. So let's go back to my Open Beta. You'll notice before I had this input.original that I renamed, and notice here you can see a symbolic link. So if I click on input, all the configuration changes from the 2.5 branch is there now. What this means is when you fire up DCS, whether it's in 1.5 branch or the alpha version 2.x, whatever changes you make gets reflected in both game branches. Okay, so now when you clear configurations and you make modification from one or the other, it doesn't matter. They get reflected in both directions. Hope you found that useful. Thanks a lot.